I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The stuff I'm going to show you in this video, it's hands down the worst stuff I've ever seen on this website. Person watching this video, all I can say is brace yourself. The year is 2004. A guy called CJ was following some damn train. The best gaming device in the history of humanity was released. And a certain Pixar movie came out that in the following days, months and years, it would go down as one of the most well-known iconic animated movies ever. The Incredibles. Look, we all know what The Incredibles is. You've watched it, I've watched it. Hell, I reckon most people on this planet we call home have watched it. The words punny, where is my super suit? They've been burned into the collective consciousness of every single one of us Homo sapiens. The Incredibles all-time classic movie. The second one, the second one is a bit, it's fine. It's okay, I guess. But man, the first Incredibles movie, it's peak. It's goated. However, since The Incredibles is such a well-known, iconic movie, of course, the characters in it were gonna, and let me put on my fancy video essay YouTuber voice here, transcend the movie itself. You got Lego, bootleg merch, costumes, Funko Pops, games, and of course, memes. Yeah, if you go onto YouTube right now and search up Incredibles meme, there's a really good chance that you'll stumble across a meme just like this. A few years ago, these Mr. Incredible becomes uncanny memes, they were everywhere. They became stupid popular. And it's from this meme format's popularity that a massive problem has arisen. There is a subsection of creators on YouTube that have jumped on the popularity of this meme format and have used it to create some of the worst, most disgusting, terrible videos I have ever seen. And the worst part, these terrible, god-awful videos, they're made for kids. So how about you sit down, leave a like on this video, subscribe, join my Discord server, head over to GamerSupps and use code BEAK for 10% off your next order, and allow me and a special guest in this video, who you'll hear from later, to introduce to you Incred Gate, the worst kids YouTube rabbit hole I've ever found. Right, so before we dive headfirst straight into the Incred Gate rabbit hole abyss, I reckon it's a good idea to dot our I's and cross our T's just so we're all on the same page here. To keep it brief, as I said in the intro of this video, thanks to the popularity of the Incredibles movie, the characters in it like Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, don't search up her name on Google, Dash, Frozone, and all of the other Incredibles characters, they all became stupid recognizable. So much so that a few months ago, this meme about Mr. Incredible becoming insert adjective here, it blew up. It became a really well-known meme format, especially on YouTube Shorts and TikTok, by the way. Oh my god, these videos raked in views. But what exactly happens in these memes? Plain and simple, and this is really important, keep it in the front of your brain. These memes, they're meant to represent your feelings and reactions towards certain things. On the left, you'll have a picture of Mr. Incredible himself, this is you. And on the right, you'll have a picture of something else, like, I don't know, let's say Minecraft mobs. Depending on the way these videos are framed, either uncanny or canny, the longer the video goes on, the more Mr. Incredible's face changes. If it's a negative, oh fuck, a creeper just detonated my house type of video, Mr. Incredible's face will cycle through images like these. But if it's a happy, yippee, I love Minecraft villages type of video, you'll see stuff like this. All in all, Mr. Incredible becomes uncanny/canny memes, quite a funny way to represent emotions. These memes, they did get a certified nose exhale out of me. And as time marched forward, meme channels from all corners of this website used this meme format to cover a whole bunch of different topics. You got Minecraft, and then you got the Backrooms, Roblox, liminal spaces, chocolate bars, countries, video game characters, fruit, vegetables, SCP Foundation. Look, you get the picture. But now I want to ask you a question here, person watching this video. Who do you think the main consumers of these memes are? Is it somebody like Sean over here, a man who works his 9-to-5 construction job, who also makes TikTok videos on his lunch breaks all about how today's youth have soft hands, brother? Or is it somebody like Susan, mother of 3 who writes about her kids on r/am I the arsehole? Or is it little Timmy, a child with Cheeto-covered fingers? Of course it's Timmy. It's always Timmy. And since Timmy is the main consumer of these types of memes, of course people on YouTube have molded these memes to best suit a child audience. And this is where things start to go wrong. In 1974, US President Richard Nixon resigned from the presidency due to the Watergate scandal, and in the years since, the suffix "gate" has been attached to the ends of words attributed to controversies. And here's one you may recognize: Elsagate. Back in 2017, YouTube was flooded with horrible videos involving popular kids characters like Elsa, you see Elsagate, it's in the name, Spider-Man, the Joker, Batman, a whole bunch of characters doing just disgusting things in videos. Shit that I can't even really let alone even talk about in this video, because if I did this video, it would probably be sent to the Shadow Realm. Thankfully though, Elsagate content isn't on the platform anymore. Elsagate content is still a plague on this website. Sure, it doesn't look like how it used to look. Spider-Man and Elsa, they fell off and have been replaced by things like Skibbity Toilet, The Amazing Digital Circus, Poppy Playtime, newer popular kids things, but it still exists nonetheless. And that brings us to today, the latest incarnation of this shit, Incred Gate. Thing is though, instead of me telling you all about what Incred Gate is and how it works, I reckon I'm gonna hand this part over to a YouTuber friend of mine called Raymundo, the YouTuber who first discovered Incred Gate. All of his links in the description. After this video, you better go and check him out.
Incred Gate. It's an incredibly strange and disturbing rabbit hole that seemingly has no explanation, but for those who don't know, I'll give you a bit of a rundown as to what's happening. After the Mr. Incredible becoming Canny meme blew up into the stratosphere, people started realizing that a way to get even more views was to use sexual imagery. Of course, this is nothing new when it comes to memes. Porn memes have been a thing for a long time. They've never been funny, but, you know, they've been a thing. Regardless of this, these memes started cropping up, and at first it wasn't too big of a deal, because most of them used like anime girls and other sort of clickbaity things, but weren't that harmful, at least at first. The problem arose when people started using children's characters in these sexualized memes of Mr. Incredible. The question to many is, why the hell would they even do this in the first place? And people have a bunch of different answers for that. Memes started popping up of a bunch of different characters that are beloved by young children, many of these getting very, very, very explicit in ways that you would never expect to see on YouTube. And the thing is, many of them aren't age restricted at all. However, you may be wondering, how do you know it's targeted towards children? How do you know these people are trying to get kids to watch these videos? And the answer may shock you. When looking into the description of these different channels, you'll see something disturbing. Many of them employ child-friendly search terms of different cartoons and child-friendly IP in the description, which is absolutely clearly just a scheme to get children to click on these videos. Seeing this opens up an entire rabbit hole of different search terms and videos that can be found using this Incred Gate rabbit hole, and it truly is disturbing. I have done a lot of research on this, for better or for worse, and I've realized that this is more than just a couple channels making some suspicious content. There are hundreds, if not thousands of channels doing this exact thing. I'll save the info, you're gonna hear the Beak talk about it, and I don't want to steal the spotlight, but you know what I'm saying. So with that, these are the disturbing depths of Incred Gate. Take it away.
Going into this part of the video, let's take all of this information and connect the dots so we know exactly what we're looking at. Here we have a subsection of YouTube channels abusing the popularity of the Mr. Incredible becomes uncanny meme format and kids characters like FNAF animatronics, Poppy Playtime mascot, Amazing Digital Circus characters, Friday Night Funkin', all of that stuff. These channels are combining these two things and making some of the worst, most disgusting videos on this entire website. Keeping that in mind though, and I really want to emphasize this point here, for your own mental sanity, I highly recommend that you don't go and look this stuff up after watching this video. Like just don't do it. But if you do, because you want to make a video on them or something, be sure to report these videos and take all the necessary precautions when clicking on links. Ooh, a little bit of foreshadowing here. Ooh. I used a virtual machine and a VPN when researching this video, but even still, I was super careful with how I approach things. With that though, let's sit back and deeply analyze what we're actually looking at here. Here we go. One of the most popular genre of these videos is the Five Nights at Freddy's genre. Videos about characters like Roxanne Wolf and Chica and Vanessa being the most popular. And for a second here, I specifically want to look at videos made by a channel called Onath Happiness. Because when you search up Mr. Incredible becomes Canny FNAF or just Canny FNAF, Onath Happiness videos pop up as some of the top results. Now, a bit of Five Nights at Freddy's lore here for you. The most recent FNAF games to come out were the buggy mess of a game called Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, and it's surprisingly better sequel DLC content drop thing called Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach Ruin. Focusing on Security Breach here though, in it you play as a 10 to 12-year-old boy called Gregory. And as time has gone on, Gregory has become one of the most popular, most recognizable, most theorized about characters in the entire Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. However, besides being the focus of a very interesting game theory video, Gregory is also the main focus of lots of these Onath Happiness FNAF Mr. Incredible Becomes Canny videos. In these videos, instead of having Mr. Incredible on the left-hand side of the screen, you got Gregory. And the more erotic and Rule 34 the pictures of Roxy or Vanessa or Chica or insert other FNAF character here become, the more Gregory reacts. I don't have words to describe how fucked up these videos are. Gregory is a 10 to 12-year-old boy, and using him in videos like these erotic FNAF Rule 34 videos, this is disgusting. I feel genuinely ill looking at this stuff. Oh, and by the way, fun piece of this video's lore here for you. At the end of one of the FNAF Onath Happiness videos I found, it's just full-on unblurred, uncensored Roxanne Wolf furry shit. How is this allowed on YouTube? What else does Onath Happiness upload though? Well, their most recent videos are still NSFW focused, but instead of being Mr. Incredible Uncanny videos, it's all just Redditor Kuma bait. They have a series on their channel where you have to guess the not wearing clothes anime character. All in all, this channel, it shouldn't be allowed on YouTube. That and real talk here, another thing I find really disgusting about not just Onath, but every single other channel who makes FNAF related uncanny videos. Some examples being channels called Meme Dollar, K-Rail, Incredible Memes, Top Donuts, whatever this is that in the context of Five Nights at Freddy's, aren't most of these characters possessed by the souls of children? This is fucked! But what's even more fucked is the way some of these channels have taken the Mr. Incredible Becomes Uncanny meme format and have altered it to prime kids into clicking on their videos. Remember how I mentioned that Gregory was the main focus in lots of these FNAF Uncanny videos? That's merely one of the many examples of these channels taking popular kids things and making them the focus of Uncanny videos. Here's how some of these channels have adapted Skibbity Toilets and that rock eyebrow meme to suit their videos. First up, let's chat about Skibbity Toilet. This SFM series, all about Gmod characters with their heads in toilets battling against camera and speaker people, it's massive. It's probably one of the most popular kids things in the entire history of YouTube. And since these channels want to bait kids into clicking on their videos, of course some of them have taken Skibbity Toilet characters and put them in their videos. Either on the right-hand NSFW Rule 34 image side of the screen, a bunch of these channels have made camera woman focused candy videos, or on the left-hand, this is you reacting side of the screen. Here's a specific example. In this video made by a channel named Dr. Vadminka called Skibbity Toilet Becoming Uncanny Digital Circus / Canny, you have a Skibbity Toilet on the left-hand side of the screen reacting to NSFW Amazing Digital Circus Pomni artwork on the right-hand side of the screen. And hey, while we're talking about Dr. Vadminka, remember how earlier I mentioned that rock eyebrow meme? Dr. Vadminka has incorporated this meme into his videos as a Mr. Incredible reaction image substitute. Though instead of it being the actual video of the rock, it's just some animated version of it. And guess what, person watching this video? Vadminka, he's even combined the rock and Skibbity Toilet in some of his videos. This is like Incred Gateception. But now I want to move on to two other channels that I reckon are the worst channels making this kind of content. Channels that go by the names Dazza and TechTales. Now, here's a quick Photoshop lesson for you, person watching this video. If you pull up an image in Photoshop and put something on top of it, for the sake of this video, let's say a black rectangle sensor bar, you see that little slider in the bottom right-hand side of the screen? You see how it's all the way to the right? When it's like that, it means that the opacity of your bar is set to max and you can't see through it. Though, the more you slide this scale to the left, the more transparent your bar will become. And the lower it goes, the more you can see through it. Here's the bar at 100% opacity, here's the bar at 50% opacity. You get the idea. You've probably noticed that there's a hell of a lot more blurring on screen right now, even more than previously on in this video. I've had to do this because Dazza and TechTales, they don't fully censor the shit they put in their videos and thumbnails. The opacity on the sensor bars they use isn't fully maxed out. You can see right through them. If I was to remove my blurring, person watching this video, I don't really think you have to use 100,000,000% of your brain power to imagine what you'd be seeing. Dazza and TechTales, they're the only two channels I've been able to find who do this. The rest of these Incred Gate channels do have NSFW themed videos and thumbnails, but at least for the most part the censoring in them's done right. This is crazy. I have no idea, none. I don't know how these channels, Dazza and TechTales, I don't know how they're still on YouTube. Thing is though, person watching this video, if you thought that all of the horrible shit I just spoke about was bad, oh my god, my brother, you haven't heard anything yet. You see, in the Incred Gate rabbit hole, something disturbing happens when you go search up these videos, but then instead of clicking on them, you head over to the playlist tab. And severe word of warning / content warning here, some of the stuff I had the displeasure of seeing in these playlists, it genuinely disturbed me. Keeping that in mind, I'm gonna hand over once again to Raymundo.
YouTube is kind of infamous for having a lot of different exploits and glitches that completely fly under the radar of most people. However, I've found out that there is a rabbit hole of playlists that is a network of different channels that goes incredibly deep, and it's absolutely disturbing in every single way. When looking up innocent search terms pertaining to either cartoon shows or memes like the Mr. Incredible one, and going into the playlist tab, you will find things that you would never expect to see on the surface of YouTube. Videos and pictures of fully nude women, clips of pornography, hentai, and tons of just disturbing, not safe for work content, completely visible to anyone who just knows how to use the playlist tab feature. The playlists are very strange in nature, some of which showing what you're actually looking for in an explicit sense, meaning that if you were to look up a Mr. Incredible meme pertaining to something like Five Nights at Freddy's, you're going to find a playlist filled of NSFW Five Nights at Freddy's Mr. Incredible memes. Sometimes they have real-life pornography spliced in between, sometimes it's just the memes. However, a very consistent running theme with these playlists is the odd videos that go in between that have nothing to do with the subject matter at hand. These are often from Vietnam, and are generally very normal videos, like a cooking video or a tech tutorial. Despite these videos being innocent in nature, they are incredibly suspicious on account of the fact that they have absurd amounts of views. They are very consistent, and often you'll see the same video in a bunch of different playlists themselves. Many of the playlists end up linking to each other. Some of these playlists are made to show specific fetishes. Some of the playlists that you get linked to are those of specific fetishes. One that I found very frequently was navel licking. Obviously what you're seeing now is blurred for your own good, but it's all there for anyone to see. There are tons of theories pertaining to these playlists and why they exist and where they come from, which I will list shortly. A leading and more sort of conspiratorial theory is that these playlists are created by porn companies to basically hook younger audiences early. This is backed up by certain videos having links in their comments or descriptions that go to different sort of porn phishing websites that will often give you different results depending on what you click on in the page. It's very strange. However, I don't think that's the case. The other main theory is that many of these channels were made by Vietnamese individuals to basically bypass their pornography laws. You see, Vietnam has very strict laws on pornography, like it's literally illegal. So to those who don't know how to use a VPN or fear having their search history found, they have the excuse of just looking up innocent search terms like cartoons or memes, and then just accidentally finding and watching the content there, which is why many of the playlists are made by Vietnamese users. However, this theory falls apart when you realize that many of these playlists were found for things that aren't legal in Vietnam, like gun maintenance videos. So that leads us to the main point of proof to what's actually going on here. By means of a now deleted Vietnamese tutorial video, we know that these playlists are made essentially as a bot phishing scheme where a ton are made for the purpose of getting a video popular. So something you'll often notice is that the first video in these playlists is often only 1 or 2 seconds long, meaning that the next one autoplays. The one after the few second video is often the Vietnamese video that's innocent that has an absurd amount of views. We now know that these playlists are made by bots in an attempt to get these channels fame. Why they use pornography is still pretty much unknown, other than the fact that it's the most clickable thing to most people. Either way, it's an incredibly disturbing rabbit hole, and it truly is a shame that it's on YouTube in the first place, so easily accessible by very young children. Thank you very much to The Beak for having me on this video. I loved being here, and I hope that everyone watching here spreads the word. Thank you very much.
Man, this entire side of YouTube is just disgusting. disgusting. And with all of this new information, let's add to that dotted line board from earlier on in this section. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, here we have a subsection of YouTube channels abusing the popularity of the Mr. Incredible becomes uncanny / canny meme format and popular kids characters, all in an attempt to clickbait kids into watching their videos. And in some of these videos, these channels either don't properly censor the images in their thumbnails and videos, or have completely altered the Mr. Incredible becomes canny meme format to make them even more enticing for kids to click on. Some of these channels even depict underage characters reacting to NSFW images. That, and digging deeper into the side of YouTube, you'll find playlist after playlist of some of the most disgusting stuff on this entire website. Some of these videos even housing links that will take you to some really dodgy places on the internet. With that though, person watching this video, if you think all of it ends here, you're completely wrong. Because now I want to let you in on something really interesting I found while I was delving down into the depths of the Incred Gate rabbit hole. A couple of months ago, I made this video, a video all about weird Minecraft channels that all had -Minecraft in their names. In this video, I was able to find out that lots of these -Minecraft channels were all run by the same person or same organization. It's one big content farm. And going into the Incred Gate rabbit hole, I was damn sure that if I looked hard enough, I would find evidence of lots of these channels all being interlinked or connected in some way. I was right. After a hell of a lot of looking, I found proof that lots of these channels are run by the same people or same entities. Here's what I found. Firstly, let's look at two channels I spoke about earlier, Dazza and Tech Tales. Finding proof that these two channels were linked, it was pretty damn easy in all honesty. For starters, they make the same content, that's obvious. But more importantly, let's focus on two things integral to not just these two channels, but every single YouTube channel on the entirety of YouTube. Channel banners and channel icons. Using my channel as an example, my channel icon is that picture of a penguin I have, you see that one? And my channel banner is the much bigger image above my channel name, the one with the Club Penguin with the letters subscribe on his belly. Which is something you should do, by the way. And now that we know what channel banners and channel icons are, I'm gonna put Dazza's and Tech Tales' channel banners and channel icons on top of each other. They're basically the same. Both channels use the same spooky, woo, I'm gonna shit myself font in their art, and both banners include their channel names in a house for some reason. Abstract modern art, I guess. This is enough evidence on its own to prove a link between these two channels, but I'll throw in a little bit more just to hammer the point home. These two channels that make the same content, two channels that have the same art, they were made within a day of each other. It doesn't take a megamind big brain Oppenheimer genius to realize that these two channels are linked. I'm 99% sure they're owned by the same person. And the same is true for these next channels. Besides YouTube banners and YouTube icons being a really good way to prove links between channels, what happens when a few channels' names and bios are the exact same? Well, you get Incred Gate channels like Mr. Incredible, Mr. Redible, Canny Boy, and Mr. Canny Boy. Focusing on Mr. Incredible and Mr. Redible here for a second, besides their names being pretty much the same, I'm gonna let their bios do the talking.
Hey! Here you'll see interesting animations for games such as FNAF or Friday Night Funkin'. Subscribe to the channel and stay with us! Every day I try to make new and interesting videos for you! Disclaimer. Chica Playtime Animation and all of its videos are directed to a mature audience that is over 13 with the meaning of the title 16 CFR 31.2 of Children's Online Privacy Protection Act USA and are not intended for children under 13 years old.
Pretty damn obvious that these two channels are linked. Let's look at the bios of Canny Boy and Mr. Canny Boy.
Mr. Incredible and others becoming canny/uncanny every day.
Once again, identical. But now I'd like to shift our focus to a few other channels. Some of them I've mentioned before, and some of them that I haven't. Onath Happiness, Dr. Vadminka, KRL, Mr. Obvious, and a channel called Mimi. I reckon that out of all of the linked Incred Gate channels I've found, if my theory about these channels being linked is true, then this group of channels is by far the biggest group of channels on YouTube making Incred Gate videos. Here's why I think these 5 channels are linked. If you go to these channels and open up their bios, you'll be met with a fucking essay. There's a hell of a lot of text here. But breaking all of this text down, you'll find similar themes and ideas between them. All of them start with a greeting, either hi friends or hello friends, and then their names.
Hi friends, I'm K-Rel.
Hi. Glad to have seen you found my channel, Dr. Vadminka.
Hello friends, My name's Onath.
Hi friends, I'm Mr. Obvious.
Hi friends, I'm me plus me.
Following that, reading through these walls of text, you'll soon notice that these channels go on to talk specifically about what editing software they use to make their videos.
My channel differs from other ones in that I create videos with special approach. First, I use Adobe After Effects. I cut out characters for further editing and then add unique sound effects in videos. I try very hard on the video and devote a lot of time to it. I create videos in professional programs.
I made video editing using Power Director. I create images for videos in Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Effects. My channel is different from the other ones in that I create videos with a special approach. First, I use Wondershare Filmora 12 program to cut out characters for further editing, and then I add unique sound and video effects.
And at the end of these channels' bios, except for Onath Happiness, they mention the words unique content. If I had to draw a diagram of how I think these channels are linked, it would look something like this. Dr. Vadminka, K-Roll, and Mr. Obvious are linked. To prove that, all you have to do is look at the similarities between their channel bios. And then, keeping all of that in mind, there's a good chance that Mimi and Onath Happiness may not only be linked to each other, but the other three channels I mentioned. Sure, the format of their bios are different, but the themes and ideas within them are the same. If these channels are linked, then it's by far the biggest network of channels on this side of YouTube. And I'm pretty damn certain that as time goes on, I'll discover even more linked Incred Gate channels. I still have questions here though, person watching this video. Why? Why are these videos a thing on YouTube? Why are there so many of them polluting this website? I don't know for sure, but I and a few other YouTube mutuals I spoke to, we do have our game theories. For starters, I think the reason why lots of these videos haven't been banned may be purely up to mascot horror being pretty, let's say, abstract. Sure, these videos do have NSFW, Rule 34 art and animations in them, but this stuff, it isn't your bog standard real life type of stuff. So, if I had to guess, maybe Rule 34 doesn't flag YouTube's automatic NSFW image reporting bots or parameters or something as effectively as said bots or parameters or something flag real life images. I don't know. And another thing I think we can only really speculate on is the purpose of these videos, why they exist in the first place. As I said earlier, one of the main reasons why these videos exist is so the channel owners can bait kids into watching them, thus giving the videos more views, which leads to more money, average YouTube clickbait stuff. But digging a little bit deeper, obviously some of the people watching these videos, they're watching them to... I don't really think I need to describe what they want to do, but you would think that if you wanted to do that kind of stuff, you would just go to another website and not YouTube, right? Like, there's plenty of those kinds of websites on the internet. Well, maybe it's a situation where those kinds of websites have been banned where said Kuma lives, meaning the only way to find this type of content is to use YouTube. That, and maybe the people watching these videos are watching them on YouTube so they can cover their tracks out of fear of being found going onto one of those other more adult websites. Hey, maybe it's a curiosity thing, or maybe it's just weird people being weird, I don't know. But now I think we should try to answer another question. What can be done to combat this issue? Look, I know some people watching may hear me talk about this stuff and think to themselves, well, if we just ignore it, then surely it would just go away, right? Like, it would disappear into the ether. Plain and simple, I don't think that would solve anything. I mean, this isn't how this type of stuff works. These kinds of videos, they would just stay up, raking and racking up more views as time went on. I reckon the best way to get rid of these videos is to report them and report the channels making them. And hey, if you're a YouTuber, I think spreading the word about how disgusting these videos are is a really good thing to do. The more people know about this shit, the more can report these videos. Vice versa, the cycle continues. Hopefully leading to some of these channels being obliterated, because these channels, they do not deserve to exist on this website. They're just disgusting. They're horrible. They're a plague. And I reckon the sooner they're gone, the better. So, what is Incred Gate? It's the next step in the evolution of Gate. Certain YouTubers have decided to combine the popularity of the Mr. Incredible Becomes Canny meme format with well-known kids characters, all in an attempt to bait children into watching some of the most disgusting videos on this website. And the deeper you go down this rabbit hole, the worse and worse it becomes. I mean this when I say this. Some of the videos I've found on this side of YouTube have genuinely disturbed me. And I hope that in future, not only are these videos booted off this website, but the people who make them are too. And with all that being said, I'm gonna leave this video here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to go check out Raymundo. All of his links are in the description. He really makes go-to content. You need to check him out. Be sure to leave a like on this video, you know, subscribe, bell notification, YouTuber, buzzwords, and yeah, I'll see you soon.
Number 15. Subscribe to the Beak. If you don't, you will suffer a severe case of cringe, and you are taking part in bozo behavior. Thanks for watching.